Hey vlog, so much for thinking I wasn't doing this week. Days get busy in summer, apparently. That's a thing that happens. I didn't know because normally before I just kind of lazed around on my couch a lot, but this summer has been very different than many of my summers, so I suppose I should have expected it to be at least slightly busier. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about this week. This week we're not talking about being busy, we're talking about what we do for downtime. And I guess, and I have so many different things that I do. For one thing, I very much am a person who goes and plays video games for downtime. Those typically tend to happen during some of my more stressful times. Is I'll definitely go and sit down and play a video game, particularly if it's a shooter or like action game, because sometimes you just need to kill something without actually killing someone, because it feels nice and it's like a good form of stress relief. So I went, which probably attributes to why I went through the first Assassin's Creed so quickly, and why I'm still working through this game too, because I haven't had enough stress, I suppose, to like really be driven to play that as much as any other games. Not to mention, I also haven't had the time that I had when I was playing the first Assassin's Creed, that I have now, because not school, school's not a thing, thankfully. It's mainly work and, like, travel, but thankfully, most of my travel should be done for the rest of the summer, so, I mean, there's still some minor traveling and rearranging and heading different places that will happen, but I should be here for the most part. Not even for the most part, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to actually talk about what we're talking about, which is downtime. So yeah, video games, definitely are a thing for me, but, as for, like, actual physical places, it really depends. I'm not one of those. I'm definitely one of those people that, depending on the amount of stress, I'll stay in bed, and read a book, or listen to music, or read a book and listen to music, because most of the time I can't really read a book in silence. It kind of bugs me. I need to have music playing, even if at some point I tune out the music completely. I need to have the music going, otherwise I just it's not as easy for me to. It's not as relaxing for me to read, I should say, not as easy. So I definitely read a lot. I tend to go into, like, comfort places where, like, I'll arrange myself on a couch or, like, in my bed. More often couches, actually, than beds, because I tend to, like, leaning against the, sides of the couch, or, like, the back of it in some weird way to get comfortable, because you can't quite get that on a bed, unless you have one of those really nice, like, four-poster things or something to lean against. Otherwise, you're just leaning against pillows, which get squishy and annoying sometimes. So, there's a lot of reading, there's a lot of video games, definitely a lot of inside. I don't necessarily have a whole lot of the ability to head out, like, to go outside. I might go and do things outside if I really need to, like, de-stress. I might, like, go hang out with a group of friends for a few hours and just be like, because sometimes, part of the problem that stresses me out, or, like, if I really need downtime, is that I'll spend it too much by myself, and I'll need to go and hang out with someone for a little bit, in some other place. Like, I'll go grab a coffee, though I don't really grab coffee. I shouldn't say that, because I don't drink a whole lot of coffee. It's more like I'll go eat dinner with a friend, or I'll go see a show if there's one going on, or I'll go to the movies or something. Or even, like, today I went shopping when I really didn't need to go shopping, and I probably shouldn't have gone shopping, but I went shopping anyways. So I went shopping and got, like, maybe one purchase of that was justifiable in the sense that I actually needed it, but most of everything else that I got was like, you didn't really need that, but you wanted it. So yeah, that was a thing I did. So reading and, like, going out sometimes. I have a lot of just, like, things I do. I think those are the big three for me. Other than sleep. Sometimes I'll take a nap if I really need to. If I'm really stressed out, I just nap. Which actually isn't helpful for you. It's a really bad thing. Not to mention, it gets really bad for me during school, because typically, the stress will tend to lead to, or cause, or exacerbate the, insomnia I have, and then it makes it harder to fall asleep, or to stay asleep, and then napping does not help at all. Oh, but one of the other things I definitely do to de-stress, is bake. I really like baking. Baking helps me de-stress remarkably well. Not so much, like, cooking helps a bit, but not so much as baking does, and I think part of it's because I'm a little bit more hands-on with my baking, particularly for cookies and like breads and stuff. Is there tend well, not necessarily breads, because the only bread I've made so far is very liquidy, and I do not put my hands on that unless I'm taste testing it. But particularly like cookies, there gets to be a part with most recipes where your beater isn't working as well, or like your electric beater or mixer isn't working as well. Sorry. Your electric mixer isn't working so well, so I use my hands because it just gets it so much better. And not to mention when you're rolling it out, it's that's really nice. And I guess sometimes I do go I'll go work out and relax, because working out definitely helps me relax. Especially since a lot of the ways I tend to go work out, like walking's really good, but I tend to go either running, or like I'm biking, or I'm dancing. So those are all very fun, very much stress relieving methods. That's basically what I do. I don't really go anywhere fancy. I don't have anywhere. Though I think in the future I would very much like to have like a little reading nook or something that's separated off for the days when I really need to de-stress and need to be by myself, that's kind of isolated. Though I'd also like kind of like an outdoor like hammock or something for other days and stuff, or like I kind of wish I had the ability to go outside and walk around without fearing I'd get lost at this point, really. During the school year, it doesn't seem as like de-stressful because, well, I know everywhere I'm walking, it just going for a walk just around a circle, either in the gym or like just walking around campus. While campus is very nice, it just doesn't have the same feel as if you went and walked through part of a path, or like you went hiking, which is actually one of my favorite kind of vacations, but I think we already talked about that. Or maybe I talked about that on something else. But anyways, that's all the stuff I do to relax. I hope everyone else is having a great time. Hopefully next week I'll actually be able to pre-record the video for Vlogalog, and so we won't have badly lit cell phone video, but who knows, I'm probably going to stop making promises on when that's going to change. Anyways, until next week, Vlogalog. See ya.